From a lush green planet filled with oceans to a desert rock that nobody wants to live in. How did this happen? Geologically, a lot of us will compare Tatooine with our own Mars, right? It was considered to once have been an earthly planet. Today, though, it's a lifeless rock, but Tatooine is quite different. Yes, the millennia do add up and the oceans can dry up too, but there are other factors too that contributed to Tatooine's demise. That's what we're discussing today, and we will go through all materials, both canon and legends, and scrap as much evidence as we can to explain what actually happened. We will start with the fully canon Ultimate Star Wars book that describes Tatooine as having once possessed life-bearing oceans and a water cycle that included rain. Now, according to Jawa folklore, the great Tatooine desert known as the Dune Sea was once a true ocean. Ancient fossils bearing rock and eroded canyons seem to confirm the Jawa's stories, but most of Tatooine's inhabitants still find it kind of hard to believe water ever flowed on the planet's sand-covered surface. The fact that the change occurred within the scope of folklore would kind of suggest that the shift was, geologically speaking, recent, right? Potentially within thousands or maybe even tens of thousands of years. You can kind of say that the ultimate evidence for water and oceans and stuff like that is the fact that Tatooine has life and a breathable atmosphere. That would realistically mean that there was surface water at some point in time. Now, if we move further, in a comic called Dawn of the Jedi, Tatooine was described as lush with gleaming cities set by blue seas. Two yellow suns loom close over a world with white clouds, blue ocean, and green land. Another description describes Tatooine, a lush world where twin suns warm the fair skies. A thriving world where the Kumunga live peacefully in gleaming cities along its blue seas. By this beautiful description, you can start to admire what Tatooine once was. A rich planet with resources and native to the people of Kumunga. A technology-advanced species that lived on Tatooine thousands and thousands of years ago. Now the Kumunga, they eventually developed spaceflight and, against the wishes of their elders, began the colonization of other worlds. This colonization was ultimately their doom, because it was then that the Rakata got involved. Around 25,000 BBY, the planet Tatooine was completely bombarded by the infinite empire of the Rakata species. They were suffering from a plague that was stripping them of their ability to use the Force. The Rakata believed that the native Kumunga, who had fought the Rakata ever since they had conquered Tatooine, were responsible for this plague. And so, for that reason alone, the Rakata bombardment obliterated the grassy, ocean-filled world. Over the centuries, after hundreds of years since they were bombarded to oblivion, Tatooine developed into a planet-wide desert, and the Kumunga developed into two other species, the Jawas and the Tusken Raiders. By the time Revan traveled to Tatooine during his quest for the Rakatan star maps, only basic information about this conflict managed to survive in the form of oral history by the Tusken Raiders. So again, here we rely on Tusken Raider folklore. Well, basically, that's the whole tragic history of Tatooine and how it went from this to this. However, considering it's an old rock, a lot of people came out of there that definitely changed the course of history of the entire galaxy. Tell me your thoughts on all of this, guys, down below in the comments, and if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below, hit that bell to get notified the moment a new video is up. Have an awesome day, my Star Wars friends, and may the Force be with you always.